Hey folks, Jeff here with Backcountry. Appreciate you stopping by the channel today. Well, if you've been following along, you know that our journey is always filled with lots of, 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, visits from old Murphy. I don't know, just stuff goes wrong. Anyway, during our last video, you might have noted that we had a catastrophic failure of our 18-volt DeWalt reciprocating saw. This is a DW938. It's an old 18-volt, but we were using it and bam, it just busted in two. Still works, everything's good, but the body just died. So I did a little research and looked to see, could I buy the parts cheap, whatever, and the short answer to that is no, I couldn't really find one. I could find a used one out there, probably around 40 bucks for a used machine, not even guaranteed to work, but I got thinking about it and I really didn't want to buy another one and have the same problem. Obviously there's a flaw in this machine. Now granted, it's old, but still, it should not just bust apart like this. I mean, that is a definite engineering flaw. That's got to be more sturdy. I expect my power tools to hold up for forever. I mean, who likes to buy something and have it break anytime? You want it to last. So, of course, not real happy with DeWalt on that one. But when it comes down to it, they kind of got you. You spend all the money on power tools and batteries and charging systems and everything else that if you change to another brand, you pretty much got to start over. But then what do you do with all the tools you already got? You still got to maintain batteries for that and everything. So unfortunately, once you go down the path of a brand and you buy all those batteries and make that investment in their tools and everything, like I say, they kind of got you. And DeWalt definitely has me. But if we're being honest, this is the first problem I've had with any DeWalt tool. Yes, it's a catastrophic failure and it's kind of sad and pathetic, but at the end of the day, it hasn't been a regular occurrence and we've been happy overall with our DeWalt tools. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to buy another one. Of course, we've already been switching from 18 volt over to 20 volt. As a matter of fact, when that broke, I was using an adapter and a 20 volt battery on it. So it's great that you can do that. But as we buy new tools, obviously we're buying 20 volt instead of 18 volt. So what did we buy? Right here. I bought the DeWalt, DCS387B. Now I buy the tool only. I'm not buying new batteries and chargers. I've got all that stuff. So I just buy the tools. And I'll be honest, when I buy batteries, I don't buy DeWalt batteries. I buy generics from Amazon. Here's one that I've had for several years. It says it's a 6 amp hour. Whether it provides 6 amp hours, I have no idea. I've never done any tests with it, but it works. Never had issues with it. This battery I've had for several years. It's got the nice little deal that you push the button and it lights up with 3 bars to tell you it's fully charged. I don't even know a brand on this. I don't know if I got it off Amazon or off eBay or whatever. I'm sure it's, does it say made in China? Of course it says made in China. There you have it. They're all made in China, even the DeWalt probably. But the reality is that this thing costs like half the price, maybe even less than what a actual name brand one costs. And it works fine. Never had any issues with it. Have lots of them. So that's how I save money on the batteries, but that's a personal choice thing. If you've got DeWalt tools and you prefer to use the DeWalt batteries because they hold the charge a little longer, whatever, that's okay. That's your money. You spend it how you want to, but that's how I spend mine. So I bought this saw. I've been using it now for a couple weeks, and you know, it says it's guaranteed tough. So if it's guaranteed tough, it shouldn't break, right? The good news is, so far it hasn't. This is considered a compact reciprocating saw according to the package. And yeah, if I compare it to the old one, here it is, holding it up to this one. Of course, it's, you know, kind of broke, so it's a little bit longer than it was, but we can kind of, there we go, we can kind of hold it together and fake it a little bit. So the old one is a few inches longer and a little bit bigger. Weight wise, they feel pretty close to the same. I will say this one is nicer to use. It just feels comfortable, more comfortable than this one did. So I do like that. But I'll tell you what, as far as reciprocating saws go, I mean, I started with an old Sawzall, Milwaukee Sawzall that plugs in. Still got it today, it works great. And it's a heavy duty reciprocating saw. It's heavy, but it's functional. It's big like this, maybe a little bigger. It gets the job done. That's the bottom line. It gets the job done. It always has. It still does. Never had any issues with that tool. It's a great tool. But I bought a set of DeWalt tools that came with like 4 different tools years ago. And this was one of the tools that came in it. And the convenience of battery versus having to plug in. Obviously, we use this thing. We literally wore it out. The motor's still strong on it. It still cuts great. But the handle busted off. You know, the casing is busted. So there's just not much we can do with that anymore. It is what it is. This one, it feels great. It's comfortable. It is a little bit smaller. The design is different. So I don't predict, just looking at it, I don't predict that it's going to break in half like the other one. But I'll tell you what, as far as reciprocating saws go, it cuts as good as any saw I've ever used. So that's the first thing I'll tell you, is there's no downside to it. It's overall, it's a great saw. Batteries slide on just like they should. It sounds just like the old one. It cuts just like the old one. It does have a light in it. That's a new feature. This one didn't have a light, so that can come in handy. Now I will tell you one difference between my old Milwaukee Sawzall and these saws is the front plate. I don't know what you call it, but it doesn't slide in and out. So that's one thing I do like about the Milwaukee. So when you put a blade in here, and I've just got a blade I've been using here, so that's why it's not all painted nice clean. It's well used, but it's still sharp enough to cut. Works great. Especially I've been cutting conduit and stuff, so that's real easy to cut. But when you turn that baby on, watch that blade. So there you can see the blade is straight up and down. Now watch it. There you go. You get some harmonics going and that thing starts flapping side to side, and that, all reciprocating saws do that because of the longer blade. Now if you notice this blade, you'll notice that there's still paint here and there isn't paint all the rest of it. What's that tell you? It tells you that this end isn't really getting used. So that's the reason why I like on the Sawzall that you can adjust this and pull that plate out further. It's got several positions. You can pull it out and you can get to where you're using more of the blade or just using down on the end, you know. So that's a nice feature. Unfortunately, none of these have it, never have, haven't seen one with it. So that is what it is. That's just an overall reciprocating saw thing that if DeWalt, you're going to make an improvement, that's one I recommend. Just make it to where you can adjust the position of that plate. Now I will tell you that this saw has an amazing feature that I already love. So it's a 4-position blade, which means I can put it in like that regular. I can turn it around and put it back in and run the blade upside down. So that's cool. But here's what I really like. I can turn it at a 90 and run it horizontally. So there's that blade in flat across. So, you know, sometimes you just need that position where maybe you need to turn it this way, or maybe I need to cut this way, whatever, just based on the position that you need to be in, the space that you've got to work with. I already have used this feature, and of course you can turn it around the other way as well, same horizontal but with the blade facing the other way. So they call it a 4 position. That's 2 vertical and 2 horizontal positions, and that is a great feature. So I'm going to give DeWalt a prop on that one. Good job, DeWalt. That's maybe new with this saw, I don't know, but good job. That's a great feature. I love it. I've already used it in the horizontal position, and it definitely came in handy. I don't remember when I used it. I was in a tight space or something, and vertical wasn't working, and then I remembered that this was 4 position, and I changed the blade, and damn, it worked perfect. So I really like that feature. Other than that, I mean, it's a reciprocating saw. Again, it's the DCS387. This was the B, meaning no battery or tool only, whatever. Compact reciprocating saw. Now the saw itself, made in Mexico. So it's not made in China, but it's still foreign made. But since my wife's from Mexico, I guess I can live with tools from Mexico. Anyway, that's pretty much it on this saw. I think it's a great saw. So far, no issues with it. I don't expect to have any issues with it. Like I say, this one here that broke in half, I don't even know how many years old it is, but it's old. 18 volt, 2003 maybe I got it. Might have been even older than that. I don't remember. But it's an old saw, well worn. You can look at it and see it's been used a lot, and it has. I still don't like the fact that the plastic busted in half and it was a catastrophic failure. That basically can't be fixed. Was it what it is? I could glue it back, but I really don't think it would hold up. I don't think it's worth it to even try to fix it. I just went ahead and bought a new one. As far as what I paid for this baby, less than $100. So these things, I see them all over the place for like 170 bucks. I got it for 90 something. I bought it on Amazon. I looked on eBay, and I looked on Amazon, and I looked over the whole internet, just doing Google searches, etc. And finally I narrowed it down to the best price. You know, I might have seen it for like $1 or $2 cheaper on eBay, but I figured Amazon, I was better off with warranty and all that kind of stuff. And I did buy a tool, an extra extended warranty. That was, I don't know, 13 bucks, I think, more for a 3-year warranty or something that I put on top of it just to be safe. So that's an option, which you've got that square trade option with eBay as well. But sometimes you buy something on eBay and then you go out for a warranty or whatever, and they're like, oh, because you didn't buy it from us or from a authorized dealer or whatever, we can't warrant it. I mean, you can just run into problems sometimes, and I didn't want that. So this one, I went ahead, I think I paid like $1 or $2 more on Amazon, but they're an authorized dealer, so I felt like that was better. So yeah, that's where we're at. Less than 100 bucks, new saw, 4-position blade we love, and other than that, works with our batteries and stuff, so we're happy with it. As always, folks, we appreciate you watching. We hope this video helps you out in some way or another. take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.